start recording because I don't want to miss it.
Okay, I actually got a commercial inquiry.
Okay.
So that's been fun because I've never gone into that space before, or had to look around that area of Paragon. I've done it for fun, but actually looking for somebody else. So looking for them has been kind of interesting, and seeing how the commercial side of it works and what those listings are like.
And so, well, that's good. Now, what kind of commercial listing is it that you're working with?
For a retail space in Richmond.
Oh, okay. That
Yeah.
they're looking to lease a space then?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. All right. Well, I mean, obviously you're relatively new in the industry, so commercial might be your thing. I did actually go and get licensed for commercial real estate, but then I found that I didn't really enjoy it because I like to have that designing where your sofa is going to go piece to the solution. So
Fair.
but you know what, it could possibly be your thing. So it's good to dabble in it to see what you think of it. So that's a pretty good win. Awesome. Who wants to go next?
I can go. We got a listing firm sold, got an unconditional offer over the weekend, and with another listing ready to go. But unfortunately, the people are moving back to Fredericton, New Brunswick, where there's not a lot of inventory. And so they're just going to hold. Everything's done. We're signed. We're ready to go. And then Monday got a couple of new referrals, and the whole law of attraction thing. When you think of somebody that comes to your mind, you should call them. And I did that. And it was a client who's done a couple of transactions with us in the last year, and their company is now looking at purchasing another property. So yeah, overall great week so far.
That sounds like a pretty good week. Yeah, it is actually quite active. And, it's funny because when you go onto a lot of these groups, you hear, oh, it's really slow in my market. It's really fast in that another market. And so it just goes to show you not to allow other people's market to dictate how you run yours, right? So yeah, good job. All right. Who wants to go next?
I'll go. Okay. My first deal closed.
Yay! Congratulations. I mean, I know it was a land deal, I believe, right? So, and that was in, where was it? Where? Olds, Alberta. Yep. Well, congratulations. That's awesome. How does it feel?
Feels really good. I'm really happy about it.
One notch on the belt. Awesome.
Yeah.
And motivating to get more. Good for you.
Exactly.
Who wants to go next? Anyone? Well, my win of the week has nothing to do with real estate, but I'm building right now, and we just passed the last inspection before now we can go to the fun part, which is finishing. So this is my favorite part, which is like the flooring and the drywall and all the good stuff. So then it goes to final occupancy. So yay for me, because it was we had a couple of new inspectors come out. So they always, when you're new, I find, especially with city inspectors, they're really, they want to do a good job and they want to cross all of the T's and dot the I's. So that was, so we had to go back and fix a few things, but anyway, this is my first time building something from bottom up. So that's definitely a win for this week. Hi, Ayaka. Welcome. Hi, Dwayne. I think I might have muted you, but all right. So let's jump in. I'm going to, you're going to see my messy desktop for the moment, but let's just jump in right now to can everybody see my screen okay? So this is obviously the Coach Approach coaching and accountability. I modeled this based on my Tom Ferry coaching that I receive. And as you know, Mark with John Size Group, he's coaching with Mike Ferry. So if you join John's groups, they're awesome as well, and a little different perspective. Tom Ferry and Mike Ferry. Mike Ferry is, of course, Tom's father, and I don't know if anybody knows the history between the two, but they both run really successful coaching programs, but just a little bit of a different style. So this week is the 4th week of the month. And so basically we are reviewing operations. And so these are when you want to establish your standard operating procedures for everything. So we all have them, even though we may not have them documented. We do have a standard operating procedure of everything, just like right now. This is the standard operating procedure of this, how I conduct this meeting. So every Wednesday we start this, we go through our wins of the week, then we go through the agenda. Then once we're finished the agenda, we'll go through the extra piece, which is of course the lifetime lead strategy for creating a system and handling past clients. So we can hopefully help you develop a standard operating procedure for that. So tracking and measuring your performance. Does anybody here currently have a tracking system? And all of you that are on our team should be saying yes, because we have one that you should be using. So we have a production tracker, and how you track and measure performance are the leading indicators to how you're doing. So you should be tracking your performance right down to, Mark had mentioned, you know, the successful week of how many calls he had coming in, a couple referrals, you know, how many hours you've been on the phone and made your calls this week. That kind of tracking is super important, because well, you can't improve what you don't track and measure. So business intelligence, finances, lead generation, document, you know, your process with your current clients, you know, based on your reviews, make sure that you're providing a good experience. So tracking all of these areas should be part of your standard operating procedure. If it's not, I mean, you can definitely reach out and I can share with you a copy of my production planner that I use. You guys all have one as well that are on the team, so that you can track exactly how many calls you're making and your finances and all of those things on this list. If you are running your own team, you know, you want to track and measure, how do you recruit, onboard. Those of us that are in EXP, all of us that are in EXP actually today, I believe, that are on the call. If you're not, then maybe you might want to reach out to one of us to see maybe why you shouldn't be. However, if you are recruiting for your team or for your company, you know, having a standard operating practice to do that is important, because we all have amazing ideas in this industry. I have them all the time, and I document them, and I don't do them all. So, you know, and then choosing one maybe per month or per week that actually works is a good idea, not all of them. So in your agenda, you also got a worth a listen, watch, or read. So these are different resources that come out every week from our coach. You have the links. So some of them are podcasts, some of them are YouTube videos, and some of them are just really simple Instagram reels. So I encourage you to click on one of them or all of them, determine how long it's going to take for you to watch it. And you will get it again in the recap after today's coaching. And put it into your time blocking. Does everybody here do time blocking for themselves? Yeah. And so we use, I just time block in my Google Calendar. You can kind of see right here, this is my color-coded calendar, as well as my Teams. And you can see I still have a few little white spaces available, but if you click on it, and a little trick that I always tell my team is, you know, for example, click on this YouTube video. This is one by Keeping Current Matters. I follow Keeping Current Matters often to get some real estate info. It is based out of the US, but we really do benefit from a lot of their info. And this particular video, once
if you only list your vacation rental on Airbnb.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen, this is Steve.
Is 31 minutes long. So I want to pick a time in my time blocking that I'm going to watch this video. So I want to pick a time that, you know, maybe I'm not going to be dead tired by the end of the day, and I want to start it at the beginning of the day, and then just grab a space and put it right into your description. I would probably grab the link to the video and put it right in here. So that way, when I open my calendar, I can just go directly to that link and not have to worry about finding it, because as we know, there's a lot of distractions and it's easy to get sidetracked and say, oh my gosh, I was going to watch that video and I didn't. So if you schedule it right in, then it likely will happen. So in your level 10 forms, which I didn't get from you this week, but I would love to get, these are the level 10s, and this is what they look like. Basically, it's got your email, your name, your wins, so that I know them in advance is always helpful, and what your goals were for this year, what they are for now and in this quarter, and then year to date, just basically your numbers if you care to share. If you don't, that's totally okay. What you've got for pending and projected. The reason that this is helpful to fill out every week is because you get a copy of it. So if you're not already using a tracking system, use this as your tracking system. And don't be shy. I'm not here to judge anybody. I fill out one of these every week, and I'm only sharing with you the concept so that you can start tracking and measuring. What you need from me is, if I'm your mentor right now, it helps me to know that in advance. And you can submit it right when you want to, on Monday. If I know a couple days in advance, Jessica, then it helps me sort of prepare for this meeting today, or to snag some time with you afterwards. What else is on your mind? That's always good. If you're having a bad week, we all do, then, reach out, because this is an accountability group and I'm here to help you stay accountable. And I'm hoping that you're there to help me as well. All right. Any questions so far? No, you guys are a very quiet group today. Any feedback? All right. We're going to jump into the lifetime lead strategy. So I will go through some slides, and this is developed actually by Amy Stockburger. Now I will include, if I can, the actual video that goes with it, but anybody that does anybody here use QR codes? Because yeah. And how do you find them? Nope.
Sorry, I had a call coming in. When I say we use them, we are starting to use them. So for example, with listings, we're actually going to be moving to QR codes that people can scan when they come in, as opposed to printing listing sheets. When we do a price reduction, printing listing sheets, having to go back to the home, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, we're going to be implementing that strategy, because what I find is at the end of the listing, oftentimes either all our listing sheets are still there, many of them are still there, and all it will be is a link to a PDF, and you can just, but so starting to use them, but overall, I would say they have a lot of value.
Yeah, I'm starting to use them more often too, and especially on signage actually so I'm doing listing sheets, so that how if you've been in the business for 8 years, then you would know that the take one box with the sheets, and half the time those take one boxes, kids would come by and throw them all over the ground, or they'd be empty because everybody would just use them for writing pads or whatever. So having a QR code on your sign that goes directly to a feature sheet of that property so people can see it. I just snagged that as one of the things I'm going to include in the marketing plan. So
yeah, I love that.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, Amy Stockburger is a real estate agent out of South Dakota. She's also a Tom Ferry member. And so a lot of these, a lot of the ideas are not original ones, but obviously if we can rip off and duplicate something that someone else is doing or create our own spin on it, then why not? Nothing's original in this industry. And and so, she actually has a really good lead source, which she focuses on, which is on her past clients. So she mainly does all of her business from her past clients and sphere. And so those of you that have been on this call before know that I, as well as Tom Ferry, is a true believer in choosing at least 3 to 4 lead sources. So of course, within our team, we have our online lead generation, but the conversion is quite low with online lead generation. And, it can be quite daunting, especially if you're new, making calls and having people yell at you on the other end of the phone is not always a fun thing to do. Do you do any lead, like Power Hour or anything, Mark?
No, I'm more from the ninja selling camp. So,
Okay.
we would believe that a evergreen source of business for your whole career can exist right inside your database. Having said that, I do have a company that sends me confirmed seller leads that we pay a pretty high referral fee on. But outside of that, it's, the last really since COVID, it's my business has exploded in my sphere. And, we're always reevaluating that, but so far that's not been something I want to change at this point.
Awesome. Well, Sphere is a good place to go because obviously, as you know, that 94%, I believe, was the last statistic that I read of clients don't go back to use the same agent. And so when you look at that stat, you're like, wow, why? Because a lot of people you think are happy, and it's not that they're not happy. I've had clients go off with another realtor that was completely happy with me, and I thought for sure that's your client for life, but it isn't always the case. So keeping a good plan and having a standard of operation for your sphere is crucial, and keeping in front of them, because this is a very busy world these days and people get sidetracked thinking that, something might be better or someone else has a better answer to your problems, right? So all right. So in this webinar, she talks about, and we're not watching the webinar, we're just going to go through the slides together, but she's going to show you how she made the ultimate shift from feeling overwhelmed to empowered using a lifetime lead strategy or strategies to create clients for life. So that's where I just mentioned, you think your clients are yours for life, but they can leave you at the drop of a hat unless you create a plan. So increase your brand awareness, add multiple revenue streams, and attract and retain agents. So if you haven't already, you can scan her QR code. It'll tell you a little bit about herself, and you can check her out. I always like using these as references because I like to follow what other people are doing, especially people in the US, because they have a lot more freedom to do some crazy things over there that I love to copy because if I can, or if we can find a variation that will work. Those of you that are doing the 100K in a 100-day challenge right now know that, of course, we don't have Zillow to use here. Well, we do, but we don't use it the same as they do in the States. And so, part of that challenge was to send out Zestimates, which is what they have there. But, so you have to come up with your own variation, but lots of great ideas. So 23 years experience, same as myself, leads a team and a Team-a-Ridge brokerage model. Highest producing team since 2017 and number 18 in the nation. These are her team served 486 clients, making a volume of 166 million in 2022, and she served herself 135 clients. So that's quite a lot, actually, for her to do herself. Her journey in 2000. Well, you'll see here, she ranked #1 producing team in 2017, rolled out her lifetime home support model, which I'm about to share with you. The problem, the biggest source of repeat and referral business for real estate agent remains untapped due to a lack of systematic solution. The problem, multiple streams of revenue beyond commissions are necessary to scale and assist with a healthy exit plan. Another problem, profound absence of a service-based business model that aligns with the core values of the largest generations while navigating commission compression. So here is her lifetime lead strategy. So does anybody here have a unique value proposition to stay on top of mind? Is there something that you represent that your clients would say, oh, that's who you need to go with because of? Anyone?
Well, I can chime in here. I think what
Chime in.
people say about us, which is I think the most important thing after the transaction, is they felt like they had a ton of information, that I was very knowledgeable about the market. And then now my wife is with me as well, and she provides a whole other level of design and staging because that's her business prior to becoming a realtor again. And that they never felt pressured and that we were super patient throughout the whole process. So, for us, that's check. So
That's a good thing to, yeah. And so if you don't know what people say about you, ask them. And if you don't have clients to ask, because you're new in the industry, ask your friends. Maybe the ones that you don't speak to that often, or that won't tell you exactly what you want to hear, the honest friends, and see, where you show up or how you show up, because those are your unique gifts. And I'm a true believer that working on what you have in your personality is always the best strategy. There's a lot of advice out there in the real estate world, and there's a lot of us to service it, but we all have our gifts to service different areas. So one of the things that my clients have always said is that they feel that regardless of how busy I am, they feel that I have always got the time to spend with them. And they feel like they're my only client, which is a great amount of feedback. So these are the unique strategies that you want to have, or your USP, that when somebody says the Vancity Home Team, or or Dwayne Walker, or Jessica Cortines, they will do this for you. So here is an example of some of the things that she does with her lifetime support. And I know that some of this may not be within reach yet for you, but for all of her clients, she has a VIP club. So her free lifetime access to her moving trucks, party and tool shed discount center, and moving concierge. So has anybody ever seen some of the realtors out there that have a moving truck that they offer? Yes. No? You haven't seen that? There's quite a few realtors that do have one or two moving trucks, and I've always thought it's a really great idea. Now, costly though, but on the flip side, she's found a way to actually create that so that she funds these trucks. And actually, I think it will have the name. These are her moving trucks right here. And so she actually sells the ad space on her trucks to other people in the industry, because it's like a moving billboard. So, has anybody ever checked into the cost of billboard advertising? It's very expensive. I mean, I always look at, when I drive by Mindy McPherson's big, 3 big billboards in the valley, I'm thinking, wow, that must be costing, a few $1,000s a month. So I actually did check into these moving trucks to lease them. They are in the States, and you can import them into Canada. I thought that was quite interesting. I will send some info on all of this afterwards. So if you wanted to check into that, you could. So she has a fleet of these, and she sells the ad space to cover the cost. So everything that she has created to offer to her clients, she's offset the cost by either billing it out to other realtors to advertise on these trucks. And of course, she offers this as a lifetime gift to her clients. So if you buy and sell, you get the use of these trucks for life, which I think is a pretty good idea. Any feedback from anybody else?
And I think it's a fantastic idea. My question always with teams of this size is, I think you always have to look at, I'm curious what her net profit is, right? Like all the GCI in the world, but this is a very costly, even when you're thinking about covering costs with that space, I'm always curious what is her net profit on something like this? Because I think you can create an experience of working with you with some of these facets, and maybe not everything that's the high cost stuff.
Right. And everything that she has created, and once, if I'm able to send the actual video webinar of this, you'll be able to watch her explain how she monetizes every single thing that she's done. So, I mean, I know that
Right.
these are pretty big ticket items, and you think, wow, you know, a fleet of trucks that she's giving out. But she didn't just have them all instantly. She adopted, you know, one at a time and made sure that she could cover the cost, or that it was, you know, that it made sense financially for each one. Same thing with the party and the party rentals. So she offers for all her clients who are having parties, all of her branded material to rent. So she's got, I mean, I don't know that I would want to do this, but she's got, you know, table rentals, glassware, like every single thing that you could want for a party. She has her branding all over it. So what does that do? It gives everybody that goes to the party the ability to constantly see her branding, and to know the whoever hosted the party has been gifted this from this realtor or this real estate company. So, I mean, great idea as well. Of course, she's got in-house lender. She offers a lifetime. She does not let these people go anywhere, clearly, from her system. She has an in-house insurance agent, property management company. She also partners with local businesses and with, you know, their products and needs, so that way she can offer those to her clients. So she's a one-stop shop for everything real estate related. She's got lifetime home support. She's got love it or leave it guarantee. She has a guaranteed sale program. So I don't know if anybody has ever heard of Craig Proctor. Anybody heard of Craig Proctor?
Yes,
Yep.
this is his campaign.
What's that?
That's Craig Proctor's campaign. I'll sell or I'll buy it.
Oh, everybody knows his campaign. So I was a Craig Proctor coaching member originally, and he's still out there doing the same thing. He's just changed it now to kind of work more with technology. But his guaranteed sale program was, yeah, if you buy this house, I'll buy yours. So she also has a guaranteed sale program. Hers is sold in 89 days, or we will buy it. So very similar. Those of you that know the program know that there's obviously some fine writing that goes along with them buying your house, but it's a great program. So that is a USP that she offers. The love it or leave it guarantee, I haven't checked into. If you don't like it, we'll sell it for free. We do have that on our team, the sell it for free guarantee. It's basically a reverse of the guaranteed sale program, that if somebody that buys a property, if they're not happy with it in 1 year, you'll be able to sell it for them for free. Of course, there's stipulations that they would need to buy another property as well. So another USP that you offer. She's got a trade up program. This is also a Craig Proctor, which is, you know, you buy one of our listings and we'll buy your current home. So she's got all these guarantees that she offers her lifetime home support. And she's built out all these systems. So she's obviously very systemized. Law of reciprocity. So she is all about referral-based business coming from her sphere and her past clients. This is an example of where she has monetized everything, including her trucks. And actually, does it have the name of the company? Because I emailed them actually to ask them exactly what that would, oh, here it is, On the Move, complete truck and rental. And I looked in Canada to see if they had anything similar. And not as far as I can see, as far as moving trucks go. Does anybody love the idea of the moving truck? Because I do. At least even one for our team would be amazing. I think.
Well, the fact that you can offset that by paying with ads is so smart.
Right. Yeah. Right. I mean, obviously you would have to sell the ad space, you know, for someone to have the back end of it. You know, how much is that going to be worth, and how often is that truck going to be moving? And you've got to build out a whole plan for that. But graphics are provided with this particular company, which is why I checked into them. So they've got buying and leasing options, They do the graphics for you. They also insure it. I'm assuming that that is not the case for in Canada. And then of course, they've got rental agreements with them. So they are, I believe they're at the NARF conference this year. So I'm gonna get some info from them and I'll share it with you guys. So any questions so far about what she's doing? She's got a discount center. She's got support one-stop shop. She does client appreciation events. So we've got one coming up with our team where we've hired a photographer that's taking photos of all of our past clients for Christmas photos, for holiday season photos. Anybody here do any customer appreciation event or have done in the past? And what did you do, Mark?
We've done a couple of different things where we've kind of gone away from it a little bit this year, but we have the mortgage broker that I'm partnered with. We have a lot of Brazilian clients, and so we've done a couple of Brazilian just so they could all get to know each other, because a lot of them have moved to Calgary from Winnipeg as an example, because they all work for Skip the Dishes, or many of them. So we had an opportunity for them to all kind of get together, get to know each other better and things like that. So certainly something we're looking at as we plan for 2024, though. I love the photography idea. I think that's great.
Thanks. Yeah, it works out really well. And so I have a photographer that the cool part about what we're doing is we also get to update our headshots at the same time. So I usually get the photographer to then do some headshots. So that way we, you know, I don't know if you've seen a lot of realtors often keep their older photos. I'm included in that because my business card photo still has one that's a little bit older, but I refuse to think that I don't look that way anymore. But yeah, so the photographer comes, they will digitally, she sends out all of the photography to them by email. So there's nothing printed, which is kind of nice. And then and it just costs, you know, 3 hours of a photographer basically. So it's really cost effective for the return that we get. Plus you get a chance to see all your clients, because I don't know if anyone feels this way, but when you work with people, you want to stop by, you think about stopping by, and then life gets busy and you just don't get there. And so it's a great way when you have these events to get everybody together and still be top of mind for sure. So she does a skating event. She does a lot of community events. If you are really into, if you have a farm area that you service. So I focus on the New West area. And so, you know, doing any kind of event, usually we do our photos in the fall, but we're delayed this year. So we're actually going to do it at the office and set up a Christmas backdrop for the photos this year. Another idea would be renting a movie theater. I know agents that have rented a movie theater, and you can do that where you invite everybody, supply them with popcorn and a drink, and then you can get up and thank everybody for coming and sort of be the MC of the evening, and maybe have a family movie so it'll appeal to everyone, or depending on the demographics of people that you work with. So usually, you know, you could do 1 or 2 per year is definitely enough. If you have a big client base or a big budget, then maybe you want to do more. She does a lot of swag. Of course, she's renting out a lot of it too, but she gives out gifts. Now, our team gives out gifts also that are branded. And so we gave out, this year, we gave out, you know, the disposable or the little shopping bags that are branded, that, you know, that fold up small so that you can take them to the grocery store, because of course plastic bags are gone now. We had the coins. We did those for shopping carts, you know, the dollar coins. We had those branded. Umbrellas are a really good one. So if you get unbranded umbrellas, and if you do that once every 3 months, you can either do it as a drop by or a mail out. Anybody here heard of send out cards? Yeah. Do you use them, Mark?
No, we do not. We actually do handwritten notes, and that's another ninja selling thing. So The power of a handwritten note is very, very powerful.
It is.
But I do appreciate the automation of send out cards for sure.
I appreciate it too. I actually send them a little cookie with their birthday cards. So that way it's a little more personal, because what I have noticed is even with the handwritten notes, now there's handwritten look-alike notes that aren't really handwritten, but they look handwritten. But as soon as you look at it a little closer, you'll see that it's not. But honestly, the best thing has always been a sticky notepad for me. Call me about your house with my phone number on it, and you stick it on the door and they phone you because they want to know what's going on. And it's a great way to start a conversation, and it's so simple. So some of the simplest ideas are the best ones, but creating a system where you do those every week is really the key, because consistency is the key. So
Natasha, I have a question about the sticky note, because I've heard it from other real estate agents. And what's the message you put on there?
Well, it depends. So if I do a just sold or just listed, call me about your house. So maybe you have a client that's looking in that area. So just call me.
Just put your personal phone number, your name, and do you say you're a realtor or anything like that?
Yeah, I just say yep, I just put Natasha Koch. No, actually I don't put that I'm a realtor. I just say, please call me. This is Natasha. I stopped by. Please call me about your house and my phone number. They'll find out I'm a realtor as soon as I answer the phone anyway, but
yeah. And how do you find it? Because you will be sticking it the notes to all the doors, right? So, or you're skipping some doors so that it doesn't look like all the doors have your stick notes.
I've never really thought about it. I usually do a block of 10 whenever I drop anything off. So I would do 10 doors around a just listed or a just sold is kind of my routine.
I see. And one question I have about like partnering up with the local business. Can you give us some tips on what's the kind of more efficient, effective way to do it?
To partner up with a local business? Well, what I had done in the past, and haven't been at this moment, but I was doing a Friday Find. It was called Friday Find, and it would be that was my strategy, was to interview them actually and promote their business. A lot of you get a lot of reciprocity if you're promoting other people rather than just promoting yourself. So I would go and ask them, questions on camera, and then I posted it on social. And I did a lot of that during COVID as well. By Zoom, I was promoting other people's businesses to try to help them. So that's what I would do as a strategy. But if you wanted to align yourself with other people's business and maybe do some merchandise, you could have your branding, on their merchandise. There's lots of different ideas that you could have for promoting other people that are local and their businesses. Actually, I'll give you one idea that worked really well, which was, I used to have, I still do this, when somebody buys in an area, I would go to the local restaurant and I'd have them personally call the client to invite them to eat at their restaurant on me, at my favorite table. So it would be a personal invite, not a gift card, because, gift cards are just an easier way to do that, but not as personal. So, and then the owner of the restaurant would feel great because they're inviting someone. They don't have to pick up the tab because it gets charged to my credit card, and you're supporting locally. So they'll think of you as well if they hear anybody that is buying or selling real estate. So that was a good one for me too.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a couple of, hopefully that helps. Yeah, hopefully that helps when you're building out your marketing plan. So again, these are just strategies of one particular lead source, which would be your sphere of influence. There's many other options, but the whole point of today's message is, whether you're going to get a fleet of moving trucks or you're at that stage, there's a lot of things that you can do to add value to your client's experience. And it's my belief now more than ever that providing extra value is key to the success in this business, and doing it consistently, because the clients right now, especially with the market changing, are looking at you know, why things aren't happening the way they are and why other realtors are doing this and my realtor's not. So, you know, you always have to continuously improve, in my opinion, your service to those clients so that they're feeling that they're getting the most value from their experience with you. And then you will retain them for life, and you will be able to derive a great income from your past clients. You know, if you've been in the business, if you're brand new in the business or you've been in the business for 8 years, you know, those clients, I met a realtor, you know, at one point, and he said, the real secret is build your sphere of influence and your past clients as strong as you possibly can, because you will no longer have to prospect anymore if you do it properly. You really don't. You know, you need no more than building, you know, 100 to 200 really happy clients, and they will send you referrals. And those are the best to get. I mean, you know, they're the best ones because you already bypassed having to show them who you are, because they've already, you know, they've already sold you based on who sent. So hopefully that's been helpful for you today. Thank you for coming. I will send you a recap of today's meeting, and it was great to see everybody. We'll see you guys all next week.
Thank you, Natasha.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.